The decision.
I didn't wait very long. I had gotten injured and decided to come in very shortly after seeing the doctor. My kids had had very good experience here at AID getting treated for their injuries, and they were back to sports quickly. So I came in right away to try to resolve my issue with my ankle and get back on the tennis court as soon as possible. When I came here, I couldn't, bend my ankle, turn my ankle, so my mobility was pretty much at a zero. And in a few short weeks, I was able to regain the mobility and get back on the tennis court. So my most recent injury has been a high ankle sprain that I encountered on the tennis court. I went to see a doctor, very, very severely swollen ankle and severe sprain, and they immobilized my ankle. And I would say that when I came out of the boot, I almost had no mobility. When I came here, I couldn't, bend my ankle, turn my ankle, so my mobility was pretty much at a zero. And in a few short weeks, I was able to regain the mobility and get back on the tennis court. I was definitely missing out on tennis. I compete in several tennis leagues here in Loudoun County, so I was missing out on, both matches and my practices for tennis, as well as being able to keep up with two active teenagers that are in their sports and getting to their activities. And I actually, when they had me in a boot, I couldn't even drive because it was my right foot, so it was limiting my ability to even get around town. So, getting treated quickly and efficiently was important because I wanted to get back to all my activities. So I tried rest, ice, compression, everything that the doctor had conservatively told me to do, which was to pretty much stay off of my foot. But I found that the more I did that, it really wasn't healing, and the less mobility I was gaining in my ankle. So I'm back to tennis again. In fact, I'm actually back to tennis matches. I haven't done a tennis match in over a year, and I was able to play my first tennis match just the other day, which I successfully won, so that was a really good feeling, which makes me a very happy mom and a very happy wife and keeps everyone at home extremely happy. It's hard to narrow it down to one thing, but I would say probably the efficiency and the very pointed effectiveness of the appointments. I feel like they're very pinpointed at treating the injury, and I don't feel like any time is wasted. And I enjoy the personalities of all of the therapists here at the office as well. I think physical therapy is a great thing. I've probably started using physical therapy maybe over the course of the last few years, and I have found that it's probably more effective than surgeries, doctors' advice. I feel like it not only treats your injuries, but I feel like it brings you back stronger than you were before your injury. So I think a lot of physical therapy is pointed in on strengthening and rehabbing so that you can prevent further injuries. So I think people should not be skeptical about it and should definitely try physical therapy probably before any other methods of treatment. I'd probably describe it as it's probably a mix of a workout and relaxation. It's actually, if you enjoy going somewhere to get work done or even a massage, a bit of it is a relaxing experience, but a bit of it is a workout experience. So I would say it's kind of a mix of both. And I just think it's not a scary environment. It's a very, comfortable environment, relaxed environment, and I think you get to go at the pace that you need to go at for your own personal needs.